In honor of Black History Month, the South Plainfield School District is highlighting the contributions of individuals who are not often in the spotlight. When we began the discussion on who should be included in this very important recognition, it was unanimously determined that Mr. Jeff Anderson, head custodian of the South Plainfield High School, was the perfect choice as our first honoree. Mr. Anderson was born on January 20th, 1971, in Plainfield, New Jersey. His parents, Martha Anderson, a dietary at Lyons VA Medical Center, and who later worked for Keystone Industries until her retirement, along with his father, Albert Knight, an employee of the Plainfield Department of Public Works, instilled in Jeff all the attributes needed for success, including hard work and dedication, regardless of the task at hand. Jeff came from a very large family of 14 siblings, of whom he was the youngest. He worked very hard to stand out in his family, but still in his very humble way. Growing up in Plainfield, Jeff attended Stillman Elementary School, Cedar Brook Elementary School, Hubbard Middle School, and graduated from Plainfield High School in 1989. Jeff was unsure of what he wanted to do after graduation, but he then decided that the United States Army was the best choice for him, and he joined in September of 1989. Jeff spent so much of his time watching Army movies, he became fascinated with Army life, and he knew the Army was for him. Military life agreed with Jeff, and he excelled from the very beginning. During his 12 years of service in the U.S. Army, Jeff attained the rank of E4P. During his time, Jeff saw military action in the Gulf War Desert Storm and the Cold War in Germany, earning the Army Achievement, Army Accommodation, National Defense Service Medal, Southwest Asian Service Medal, Army Good Conduct, Overseas Service Ribbon, Saudi Kuwait Liberation Medal, and the Sharpshooter Hand Grenade Badge, eventually leaving the Army in 2001 with an honorary discharge. Jeff returned home and, through the prompting of a friend, applied for a position in the South Plainfield School District, and that's where his career began, here in our schools. During his time in South Plainfield School District, Jeff has had the opportunity to work in all 7 of our buildings and has become the go-to person in the South Plainfield High School. All in the high school know if Jeff is in the building is in good hands. At any time when you visit the South Plainfield High School, you will see Jeff working hard helping our faculty, staff, and students, making their day a little easier. Jeff is an extremely humble person who we all believe doesn't realize how important he is to all of us in the South Plainfield School District. We have all come to rely on Jeff, and his first focus and priority has always been the students here in South Plainfield.
Hello everyone, I have the opportunity, the pleasure and the privilege of saying a few words about Jeff Anderson. And I can say how proud we are of Jeff, how much we appreciate Jeff, because Jeff Anderson is the consummate professional. He's been working in the District of South Plainfield for 24 years. Most of the time has been at the high school here, but Jeff has worked everywhere. He's worked in every building. He's worked on the fields, on the buildings and the grounds. He's done everything. He was the go-to person and has been for the past 2 decades, or even longer than that. I asked Jeff, I said, Jeff, in all those years, what was the toughest thing you had to face? What was the biggest challenge? And he said, we've had a lot of challenges, and we've had some things that took a lot to do or get done, but we've always been able to get to it and get it done. And I think that response exemplifies who Jeff Anderson is when it comes to work. He is cooperative. He has a can-do spirit. He gets it done. And he gets it done professionally, perfectly, on time, all the time. That's why I said he's a consummate professional. And in addition to that, he's just one of the nicest people to work with. When you're working with Jeff, his manner is pleasant, he's friendly, and he has that can-do spirit, attitude, and the fact that he gets it all done really makes him the perfect person for our high school. We know that here at the high school, there's a lot to do. We do have a lot of challenges, but we couldn't ask for anybody better than Jeff Anderson. We appreciate him a great deal.
Guess I'm here to talk about Jeff Anderson. When I first came here, I realized very quickly what a tremendous asset Jeff Anderson was to this district and a tremendous resource for me. He makes my job so much easier. It's unbelievable. He's always one step ahead of me. I almost make all my decisions with Jeffrey, especially about personnel and whatnot. He works so hard. He's here all the time. You talk about somebody living and breathing South Plainfield, he's here all the time. If it's not for me, he's here for the athletic division. He's here for the boosters. He's here all the time. Guidance, he helps out everybody. He's a very hard-working individual. All the cliches pertain to Jeff. He's hardcore, gets the job done. His favorite cliche is, I got you, I got you. I know, Jeff, you always got my back. I really appreciate you. It goes beyond appreciation. It goes beyond respect. I admire Jeff Anderson. When I grow up, I want to be just like Jeff Anderson. He's one heck of a guy, and I can't even show my appreciation. He does so much for me, and this district, it's unbelievable. Every time I turn around, he's here. Even on his days off, he's here helping athletics or helping this or boosters or anything. He's always there for everybody. And just want to say thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Jeff married and has 3 wonderful daughters. Shania Foster, who attended William Patterson University and received her degree as a massage therapist. Jamira Anderson, who currently attends Clark Atlantic University. And Jacinda Anderson, who currently attends Bloomfield College. Mr. Anderson has a lot to be proud of, and we in the South Plainfield School District are so very proud to have him in our schools. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Anderson. I know that you're normally such a shy and humble man, so I just appreciate that you've joined us today.
Yeah, thank you.
So, you know that we are highlighting some of the wonderful people who are normally not in the spotlight here in South Plainfield. And as one of our honorees here for Black History Month, thought it was important that we had the opportunity to speak to someone who actually runs our school district from behind the scenes. So you're a very important part of our life here in South Plainfield. What are some of the things that you would like to highlight, or the things you love best about being here in South Plainfield?
I love the kids. I know a lot of the kids from like not preschool or what's the little kids, what they call it?
Preschool and kindergarten?
Preschool, kindergarten, all the way up to like 12th grade. I've known some, like, practically their first day of school. And the kids would come up to me and say, Mr. Anderson, do you remember me? Put a smile on my face. And I said, I remember your first day of school, you was crying. Stuff like that.
That's nice.
Yes. And I get along with all the teachers and the staff. They treat me like family. Like family.
Oh, I know that's because they think of you like family.
Yes.
So, regardless of what time I'm here, you're always here. I think you're South Plainfield, the Tigers' biggest sports fan.
Yes. I try to be for like just about anything. When they ask me to volunteer or they say, you want to help do this event, sometimes like, they say, all right, you sure? And I say, okay, I'll change my mind, I'll do it. You know what? I hate to tell people no.
I know that because I see you everywhere doing everything. What are some of the things that when you're thinking about Monday morning and you're getting ready to come to work, what are some of the things that cross your mind about getting ready for work here in South Plainfield?
I hope everything runs smooth when I walk in the building.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I got to beat feet to try to make it right before the teachers get here.
Well, everybody, the reputation is as long as you're in the building, everything will be okay.
I know, that's why I don't like taking the day off. I try to work every day because I know if I come back and something is wrong, I have to take up.
Like I said, you're the man that runs the building. Everybody knows it. Can you tell me, when you look back on your life here in South Plainfield, and we just had the opportunity to watch the segment that we had put together from information from your daughters who are so proud of you as their dad. What do you consider to be your greatest accomplishments?
I just take everything as it comes, but I just try to make everything nice. I try to keep a positive attitude with everything.
Well, I can see as a dad, you and I have spoken about your daughters several times, and in the segment we did talk about, what they have accomplished. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your daughters?
You know what? My first daughter graduated in, I'm gonna get the year wrong. Well, I know the last one graduated in 2019. The other one was like 2017. When they graduated here from South Plainfield High School, it was a surprise because they came here from out of Plainfield. And they had to adapt to everything here, coming from there. And they joined sports and they excelled in it. And that's my first time ever now actually going to events for my kids. I used to go to every event, never miss a day. I'd be cheering them on, and then they'd be like, "Dad, be quiet, too loud." But that's what I do.
You know what though, but then they think back when they're older and they just love the fact that you were there, I'm sure. So I know your daughters have all attended college, or they're currently in college. Your older daughter graduated?
Yes, my older daughter graduated from Clark Atlanta University out of Atlanta, Georgia. And my youngest daughter is in Bloomfield College. Yes, and she's still there. She has one more year.
And are they planning on coming back here to South Plainfield?
I've been telling them that, but they got to make up their own mind.
Right.
I always tell them to come back here. I say, because they're welcome. I say, they're welcome. Come back.
That's nice. So for a young man starting out his life, what would be some advice you would give them?
Reach for your goals. Don't second guess. Sky's the limit. That's it.
That's it? Would you say that when you take a look back on your life and you think about all that you've accomplished and the way that the people you work with feel about you, would you consider yourself a successful person?
Yes. I'm gonna go back like my early years when I was in the service. A lot of the guys looked up to me because I was dependable. As a young man, I was dependable. And when I was actually leaving my one duty station, they wanted me to stay. A lot of guys were pretty upset because I didn't want to stay because they always look up to me. They figure that I can bail them out of trouble. And I'm like, hey, it's time for me to move on now.
Now, Jeff, when we were putting the segment together and I read off the list of accomplishments and medals and badges that you received while you were in the service, I mean, you should be commended, and we are all grateful that you served in the military for all of us here in the U.S. because we have freedom because of you, because of the dedication that you had, and we appreciate that. But I also want you to know that we also look up to you here every day. I know in my position, when I need something and I want something from the high school, you are the person that I know that I can count on. I've heard the teachers here saying, Jeff does this or Jeff does that, or I just need to reach out to Jeff, and the kids all know who Mr. Anderson is. So you're talking about the people in the military who looked up to you. People here every day look up to you, and I'd like to thank you for everything you do here in South Plainfield. You really are a remarkable person.
Thank you. Putting a smile on my face.
And I have to tell you, they also said you're never going to get Mr. Anderson to do this. He is so humble. But I appreciate that you did decide
no problem.
to let the public know, to let our community know how important that you are, and we wanted to highlight that. So thank you so much, and thank you for being with me today.
Thank you, I appreciate it. There was a time when I was actually on the night shift could have been like 10, 15 years ago. And I used to fill in a lot in the elementary schools, and they used to always want to keep me there. They didn't want me to go back to the night shift. They wanted me to run their buildings.
Well, I know, listen, if I ever call and I say, listen, is Jeff there, or I might need Jeff to go to another building, that the principals all say to me, you're not taking him, are you? I say, no, I'm borrowing Jeff just for a little bit, but no, I'm not taking him. Nobody will they'll let me have anybody else, but they won't let me move you. So, just so that you're aware, and it really is a testament to how important you are to our school district. And this building in particular, but I just think it's funny because, I hear the kids in the hallway, they see you, good morning, hello, how are you? They all know you, you know them. This year's been a little strange.
Yes.
But all the years, prior, they know who you are. They expect to see you every day. You're part of their life. And when you're not here, if maybe you're in a different part of the building or you're not where you usually are, they notice.
Yes.
So that means you've made an impression on them.
There was a time for like 2 years when Raleigh School used to have Carnival Day. And they used to like sell cookies so they can pay for the events. I used to come over there every morning, like 5:30 in the morning, and bake the cookies for the kids so they can and bag them up with their names on it so they could sell them. They did it for like 2 years for them.
See, that really just shows the type of person you are. It's amazing. You're great, Jeff.
They used to look forward to me. I'll bag them up, put their names on it, and then early in the morning by 8 o'clock, I'm going by each classroom looking for the kids to pass out the cookies so they can take them.
Did you ever have any?
Yes,
Were they good?
yes, yes, yes.
Say, Jeff, you're just amazing. And we're very thankful for you.
I always try to help the kids. Always do.
But you can see that. You can see that.
If stuff gets stuck on the roof, I'm like, all right, I'll go up there and get it for you.
What kind of stuff is getting stuck on the roof?
And at one time, they used to have like a little hacky sacks.
Oh, yes,
And that
yes.
time, they used to always knock them up on the roof. During that, I think that used to be the fad during that time. I used to always go on the roof and get stuff for them.
Do you have a favorite level that you'd like to be in? I know you've been in all the buildings, but what's your favorite?
I like the elementary.
You like the elementary,
They keep me going.
the little ones?
When there was a time when I was at Grant School, and like the MD kids, like they sit at the table and nobody really congregate with them, and I used to go over there and play Connect Four with them all the time. I let them beat me, so they can say, we can beat you. I said, oh, come on, let's go. And every time for lunch, they always come get me. They want me to play with them. I said, all right, I'll play.
So you became part of their life too. So now you were sitting there and you became part of their lunch program. And if you weren't there, I'm sure they would have noticed.
I think my biggest surprise, I was in Raleigh. They called me in. I went there during lunch. And when I walked into the cafeteria, they surprised me, happy birthday and cake and streamers and everything. Almost brought tears to my eyes.
Aw. Jeff, I really think when people measure wealth, those are the things that really are a measure of somebody's wealth and worth in life. And I just think that's amazing.
Yes.
Because they're never going to forget you. They're never going to forget you. Those children that you played Connect Four with, when they talk about it, however many years from now, they'll remember you. Those kids are going to remember that you were the one that was helping them with their cookies, and they're going to remember that you were the one that they had the birthday for. And for kids to want to celebrate your birthday with you,
Yes.
you mean a lot to them. And
And
that's amazing.
Even if I see somebody trying to doing something wrong, I say, hey, don't do that. You're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I tell them right there, I say, you're going to get in trouble. Don't do that. I always try to keep everybody,
Straight and narrow.
yeah,
Keep them on the straight and narrow.
I try.
Try. Well, we all fall off a little bit, but we do our best, right?
Yes. Yep.
Do you have a favorite story about a teacher or a favorite story about a student?
They used to have a teacher here named Miss Zarkowski.
Mm-hmm.
She retired. I think she had like about 40 years in the district. And she used to, after school, she would do the adult school when it would be run here in the high school. And he used to always walk her to her car every night. So she said, no, I'm gonna do this, because she never had any kids. So she said, you guys here are my kids. And she would buy things and cook things every week and bring it to the guys. She's giving me a wallet. I had so many wallets. And she said, have lunch on me, and she'll put something in the wallet and constantly like this. And she's probably like the nicest person I ever met. She was kind of old. She was an elderly lady, but nice.
And what did she teach when she was here?
Computer typing.
Okay, and how long is she
I
retired?
think she's been retired now for about 15 years, I believe, but she had like about 40 years in the district.
Wow. See, all it is, it's the measurement of how kind she was. You remember her, and you know, our faculty and teachers will remember, and students will remember you.
They got a lot of there's a lot of nice teachers here. Actually, they're all nice. They all treat me good. All of them. Sometimes they give me, they constantly trying to feed me. They always trying to do that. And I'm like, oh, not today, I'm not hungry. Or if my daughter was around, she said, my dad's not going to eat that. She's good for saying that.
Watching out for you, watching out for your health? Good.
Yeah, they like that all the time. They're always looking out for daddy.
So I guess you raised 3 daddy's girls?
Mhm.
That's nice.
Yep.
That's nice.
They keep me going.
They do, and maybe, God willing, someday, there'll be grandbabies too.
Yep. Yep.
God willing.
I wish I could show you. I had some stuff, some military videos of when I was 19 years old. And I used to always, like I used to run across some of the students here, like when it's time for them to graduate, and someone would be trying to talk to me about military. And I try to be straight with them and say, look, the recruiter, he's going to tell you this, but it's not guaranteed once you cross over.
Right, right.
Everything changes.
So you routinely, you meet with our students if they're thinking about the military and give them your experience?
Yes, if it was a few that would actually walk up to me once they used to see we used to do a veterans thing going on here.
Right.
They used to see my video up there, and sometimes they would ask me about things, and I would tell them. They'd go see the recruiter, then they'd come to me if they see me in the hallway, and I'd tell them.
So you told them the real story. Are you still involved in any of your, any of the veterans or any of your ex-military?
No, and every time I keep saying I'm going to go ahead and go over there, and I've only been to one military event since I've been out. And I was just driving around through South Plainfield, and it was giving something around at the Veterans Park on a Saturday, and I said, oh, let me go over here. And I went over there, I actually had fun, because I used to shy away from that after I got out. But I'll talk about some things, but some things, you know.
I actually was just going to ask you, why do you shy away? Memories? You just...
Man, I can remember a lot from my first 3 years than I can my last 5 to 6 years. Because the first 3 was the wartime. And everything after that was like, it was just like going to work.
So you were, I had seen that you had been in the Gulf War,
Yes,
and you had been, were you also in Germany?
yes.
And then where else were you?
I was at Fort Campbell, Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Right. Is that where you spent the majority of your time?
Yes. Jumping out of airplanes and helicopters, not by choice.
So I saw what your rank was.
Yes.
So maybe you can explain that. I think it said an EP4?
Not E4P.
E4P,
I was
okay.
E4 promotable to an E5.
Which is what?
Would have been a sergeant. I
Oh,
got out
okay.
before then.
Okay.
Even though I was that right there, I still had the respect from the soldiers as the E5. They would come to me.
And now you were in there for a long time, 12 years, correct?
Yeah, I did 3 in the Guard. I did my Guard unit out of Westfield and in Flemington. And I didn't too much. Being in the regular Army and then going to the Guard is a big difference. It's almost like, it's like what they call it, a weekend warrior. And coming from regular service, and I'm so straightforward from there, and I'm going to hang right there. It didn't really pan out.
So you did 3 years in the National Guard? And then what made you decide that your military career would end? You decided to just wanted to come home, it was enough, it was,
We're gonna cut this.
oh, yeah. You don't,
I got married.
oh! So you came home because you got married?
No, she kept complaining. She wanted to come home. I was married when I was in Tennessee, and she kept complaining that she wanted to get out. And that's why I left.
Okay. We won't put that one in, Chris. That was like an exciting life. Like you got to be and live in different places. I don't know, I would have skipped the war part if you could. That was a, I'm
And-
sure you saw a lot
And at
there.
19, the Cold War was still going on, and I was in Germany at 19. So you still had the stuff from from Moscow, Russia, was
Right.
still going on. I was in Germany when the Berlin Wall went down.
Wow.
I was there.
Were you married? Did you meet your wife here?
Yes, through my cousin.
Okay, so you met your wife here?
Yes.
But then you traveled with her?
No, I didn't marry her until after I came back from war.
Oh, okay,
And then
okay.
once we got back, and I was like, you know what? I put my life like this, I'm not sure what's gonna happen, so I'm gonna
Right.
get married.
It's a scary prospect to think that you're going off to war and who really knows what's gonna happen.
When we were told we was gonna go to war, our first sergeant told us to look around. He said, men, we're going to war and some of you not coming back. That's just what he told us.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 3 friends that perished, they had lost their life.
Are you still friendly with some of the people you were in service with?
Yeah, quite a few of them,
Okay.
yes.
But you get together every once in a while?
No, only one that live in Jersey, we see each other every so often, but the other one, we talk on the phone.
And relive old times?
Yes. Mhm. Even if we speak today, we're still gonna talk about stuff that happened when we was over there.
Mhm.
We talk all the time, this one guy. Yep, it's kinda, feel like this, Germany, I love Germany. I think I love it better there than when I was in the States. Because we used to travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We
Have
here,
you-
we here in the States, we just see the regular States. When I was over there, I was in different countries.
I was gonna ask that, so you were stationed in Germany, where else did you go?
We used to go for the weekend sometime, Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Italy, been to Paris, Yugoslavia, up on the border.
Mm-hmm.
We used to hang around there. We used
So
to
you're
go to
well
this-
traveled as well?
We used to go to this one city in Germany called Stuttgart.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that's the biggest little city, just like New York. We used to go there all the time on the weekends.
Have you been back since?
No, I'm scared of airplanes now.
Wait a minute, did you just tell me you used to jump out of airplanes and helicopters?
Yes, but now I watch too much television.
Yes. Stop watching TV. Well, you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go back.
Yeah,
Maybe you and your buddies will take a trip back.
Yeah, some of the guys that be talking about they want to take a trip. We had something planned for this on 4th of July, but it got canceled because of the pandemic.
Right.
We're supposed to march in the parade in D.C. Our company, because our company was one of the first out of Europe to go to the war out there in Southeast Asia. So they're going to let us march in the parade because of this right here happened. They postponed it.
So you'll march next year?
Hopefully. See, this year would have been our 30th year,
Mhm.
the 30th anniversary of the war. And that's why they was trying to put it together.
Right. Well, next year.
Next year.
We'll see what happens next year.
Fingers crossed.
Listen, thank you again for joining us. I appreciate all you do for our school district. And just, Jeff, I don't even know how to say it. You're an absolutely wonderful, wonderful person. And the entire district is grateful for all you do for us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.